Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Production Line with me, Murphy. Just to go over very briefly some of the new updates to the game. We've got some new research. So we've got a dash specialization, a manufacturing of airbags, and over here we have got driver airbags and passenger airbags that have been currently disabled because now they need a dashboard specialization. So just be wary of that if you are playing this game. The same with the heater, that needs also the dash controls and etc. to be sorted out. But we also have new chrome fittings, wood dash and ambient light controls. They're all around the thoughts of trying to make the cars more luxurious, so that basically giving people the ability to actually have cars that I've got silly things that not everybody would want. Not everybody would want a wooden dash, whereas a lot of the more expensive cars have wooden dashes. Right, okay, so what we're doing currently, we are doing 24 cars an hour. I have been watching this. We did peak at 50 cars an hour at one point, but we are not at the moment. I have made some modifications to the price of all the cars, so all the cars are currently at 25% markup because we are not making enough money. Some of that is down to the research, and the rest of it is down to the actual running costs of the buildings. So we need to start considering that in our plans to move forward. We've also had some new animations to the game. So we've got some laser etching while they do the sensors. There was some new graphic that I saw on the actual the wheel press. However, that is not there. We do obviously have the tyres, but I do love the fact that we have two tyre presses occurring, but we only get one tyre out at a time. So one output, but it requires two lots of rubber. When that looks like it's doing exactly the same job. So anyway, that's just a minor little thing. We've got all these running, making tyres as well, so that's something I want to do. I've spotted it before, and that was basically set all these imports to alloys local only as well. That should mean that we can actually start shifting some of these tyres, because I know I changed some of these to alloys. Yeah, so you can see there's two differences. You've got a standard tyre and you've got an alloy tyre. So at least we'll actually start utilising some of the stock we're making in-house. We've also got this humongous backlog. And now, I don't think that isn't really too much of an issue. And I think the problem is, since the introduction of smart junctions, I've not really used them, because cars should be intuit to where they go. However, because of the way I've positioned this specific junction, I think I'm going to need a smart junction. Because a car comes to here, it can't go down here, so instead of causing a backlog because it doesn't need to go through here, it thinks, actually, do you know what, it's going to be quicker for me to send a car up through here, even though they won't actually use polishing. Let's just show you this. So let's see. Right, he's gone straight through, so that's not needed polishing. And again, so it thinks actually it's quicker just to send a car up there and out the way, and then it'll be a case of there we go, he's been polished, so the car's going to go right round and it'll do the same. So it kind of catches them. So what I'm going to do, let me just pause this for a second. Actually, let that car get out of the way. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put in a smart junction to show you how they actually work, and hopefully I will do it correctly. So they're going to come into there, and then we'll have them going across and down. Oops, you're going to go. You're going to have to go. Conveyor that way. You're going to go that way. Perfect. Right. So we need to set this smart. Oops, we need to set this smart junction up. So looking at it, you think to exit left is that way, and that is right. No, it's not. It's actually the way the car's coming in. So the car goes left or the car goes right. So we're going to be sending. No, sorry, I rephrase that. You would think it would be that's right, that's left, but it's not. It's looking at it here, that's right. So we're going to send. No, I am right. you send all the basics. No, I don't want that, thank you very much. All the basics. No, I don't want that. Stay put. Cars are all going to exit right, and all the other cars that need to go through the polisher will go this way. So let's just have a look. You are a electric pickup, so you should go this way. You are a mid compact, so you're going this way because you're going to get polished. You're an electric SUV, you're going this way. Okay, let's just make sure these guys are actually getting polished. Let's see what you're a basic budget, so you're going that way. Perfect. So you're mid, so you should get polished. Why are you going? There's no. Okay, that's not a problem. I can do that, but we can watch that again. So here now we've got a oops, because it's on a smart junction I can't do anything. Let me speed this up, because you think, actually, do you know what, we're just going to get a backlog here. But do you know what, it will sort itself out in a very short spell. Right, so actually he's not getting polished. That's interesting. Right, so we can actually just select on here. So let's have a look at the mid sedan. Are you getting polished? I thought they all were. Polished, he's not. So actually, do you know what? Mid sedan, you can go back in here and across. Mid SUV. Now he's not getting polished either, so maybe it's just the electric. So let's just chuck everything that way. So it's only electric cars going through there, so that's better. So let's just watch this for a moment, and that backlog should disappear. He says. We'll come back to it, don't worry. Right, so what else is going on? So we've got our research going on at the moment. Yes, paints. We have new paints in the game, which means every car that gets painted a colour, we now have coloured paints instead of the grey barrels we've got here that do the undercoats for the actual cars. So there's a nice little differentiation there. What else is going on? Right. Okay, I'm just thinking. Let me just fast forward for a moment, and you'll see all this lot cleared out of the way. Alright, literally only a few moments by, and we're already starting to clear the backlog. It's basically because we have a influx of budget cars, and then we have an influx of premium cars. So as the premium cars influx appears, then that whole backlog disappears, which is kind of what we expected. Like so. So there's absolutely nothing there now. So we get a few more basic cars, we'll start building this up again. So that is working quite well. So I don't think we actually need to have all this lot here, and we're not making that much money. So I'm actually going to rip out a load of this, because we seriously need to redesign what we're doing to try and actually improve the amount of cars we're getting through, because we are only doing 25 an hour now, so that's less than 2 minutes. Less than a 2 minute car, and we really want to get to be producing over 100 cars an hour, and we're not going to be able to manage it with everything in this position. So if we zip over here, we can see that part of our restrictions are here. So we've got a lot of backlog all the way through this section. As soon as we get here, everything all slows down. So we need to look at either having another line here, or we need to start thinking that actually maybe we need to do these slightly different. And I've been watching a few videos, and I quite like a lot of what I've seen. However, we've got all this lot in here. So there's two things we're going to need to do. We're going to need to rip this out, rebuild it, but only have the lines in here that really matter for that section. And we need to start spreading it out, because we have got a lot of space. We've got this whole section here opened up, which we're paying for, and we're not using it. And the same with all this lot. There's a lot of wasted space. So that's kind of what my plan is. We've got 7 million in the bank. We've got 30 odd cars in stock. We increased the price to 25% purely to actually try and reduce how quickly the cars are selling, so that we would actually get more money. I did play our bit doing some testing earlier, as I normally do, just to make sure things are working the way I think they should. And with the car set at a 10% premium, we were losing money. We had no cars available for sale, but we were losing money while we were doing all the research and everything else. So we need to look at that. So we're also using, or we're buying energy, which is not a good thing. We should be able to produce our own. But as you can see now, this backlog is totally gone, because these lines are actually running a lot more efficiently than this section. So what's going on here? I mean, look at this. You've got such a backlog up here, but down here there's like waiting around for cars. It's ridiculous. So we need to really do something about that. So I'm going to let this play on for a day. So we're on day 16. I'm going to let it play on for a day just to try and get some more money and more cars. And I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're approaching the end of day 16. And when we hit there, I'm going to pause it. And we are about there now. Okay. No pause. Right. So what have I done? I've ripped out all this conveyor belt system to here. I've also been watching what's been getting utilised in here, and I've ripped out all the polishers, a couple of the actual dryers, and a couple of the actual painting. So basically, for what we're currently doing, which is 20 plus cars an hour, that is more than adequate. I mean, we could probably get away with actually less dryers, and then we'd actually have cars coming through a bit more regular. But no, I think that's actually quite good. If we look at our costs, so let's have a look at our expenses. So we have so much on component parts and raw materials. Everything else is quite low. So what my plan is, we've got 4 million in the bank. We've got 80 cars up for sale. I have increased that again to 30% because we're still happily dealing with all our customers. We've got a 20% market share, which is not too bad. So what I'm going to do now, because I think after redesigning this, I'm going to redesign it again this way to give us more space. Now, I'm really happy with the way the actual schedule that we actually have currently. I'm thinking that's working really, really well. So I'm not going to change these two systems here. Everything after it, I am. And I'm also going to be ripping out all this lot. Because I'm going to be spreading this out. I'm going to want single lines from this, from these conveyor belts to the actual points, so that we can actually see what's going on a bit more. Because as it stands here, you've got all this interchanging, interlinking, and all the rest of it, and I tell you what, it does my head in. So, and because I quite like things a bit, I don't know, a bit more streamlined. Yeah, I'm going to rip all that lot out and start again. So we're going to start by removing these 2 points. We're going to let things run. So these guys are producing axles, and you're over here, so I might not actually rip those out. I might just hold fire on that. So we just let these all work their way through. So there, so rear axles, we're going to start just dismantling everything and coming back. Now, it was only just the last episode or so that I actually redesigned all this, trying to improve things, and now I'm like, should have done it slightly differently. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to rip this whole section out. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, welcome back. We've got nothing in here. We've got 7 million in the bank. Oh dear, we have a we might have a little bug there with a little car. So what we're going to do? Let's have a look at this. So we are currently stupid damn thing. not on the demolish. Why did that demolish? I'm going to have to load up a save game to work out exactly what I had on those. Do you know what? Let's just take the whole lot out. Let's start with a complete clean slate. Okay. I did not want to do that. So did not want to do that. Right. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 importers in here. Okay, so let's have a think. We want to have... Let's go back to the beginning. Chassis. Okay, so we're going to fit axles. Right, well these are going to be the fastest producing things. So these guys we can put like so onto a new conveyor system. And then we can do rear axles. Say we bring it down here. We're going to utilise this sort of space up to that edge, so we can actually pop in more manufacturing later. That's the idea anyway. Okay, so that's going to go that way. So we need axles to make axles. I can utilise the edges here, although I want to be able to see it a bit better than last time. So if I have you like so, we've got a single route then, in, straight through to there. Have one there as well. Okay, that's connected, isn't it? Yeah, that is. Right, okay, so let's just play this so that things can start working their way in and make sure things are all working correctly. These are going to make front and rear, aren't they? So let's just put one set of axles. So that's going there. 2 axles are going in there, but they're only putting 1 on. Okay, so that's fine. We'll also have... The thing is, with that being on the edge there, we're kind of restricted. Yeah, we are. Let's just knock those out. So I kind of want everything to come this way, so it doesn't connect that way. That's kind of what I want. So we can then have these guys, which are going to be the same. They're going to be standard axles as well. You can go on that line. Okay. Alright. Oops, hang on. Let's just change this so local only. Local only. And same here. Local only. Oops. And you. Local only. Let's try and remember to do that each time. Otherwise, we will have a little problem. Okay, so... Right, so that should be bringing steel in now, which is good. But these have already got their full allocation, which is kind of expected. Okay, next slot not found, which is fine, which these guys are now. Perfect, let's pause that. Okay, so we've fitted those. Let's look at drive shaft next. So drive shaft is going to be the same situation. So let's have you doing exactly the same. Going all the way up here. And we'll fit drive shafts this direction. And we'll have one. You don't like that, do you? Let's get rid of that. Fit drive shafts. Okay. Oh, actually, no, it's because numpty. Alright, set this to import local only. Local only. Now before, we only had 2 lines running and we were able to manufacture everything. Tell you what, give me 1 second. Okay, I've just had a bit of an OCD moment. Let me just... so I want gone. What's gone on there? Yeah, basically I'm kind of a bit... one of the things I didn't like about the last map was with everything, you couldn't really see where all these resource conveyors actually went, and it just seemed to get rather complicated, and I just want to keep things simple. I've just basically dug out everything that shouldn't have been there and redid it. Now I've just also gone back to a previous save, and basically I've got my list of what was actually on the schedule. So on the first one we had a sedan budget. Let me tick these off. So we've got sedan budget. Now we've got a pickup. We want to select the hang on, I don't want the electric pickup, I want a budget one. This is just going to be a budget, so budget SUV, budget compact, budget off-road, budget sport, and budget pickup. There we go, so that's all those on the first one. Let's close that down. And on the second one we had change schedule, so that's gone. Budget, we actually start with might as well start with the sedan electric. Oops, no, electric please. Where am I going? I'm going to, I'll see it for looking. Sedan electric, there we go. So we're going to knock that off. We're going to have 2 of those. Then we're going to have a compact electric. Compact, add entry, just 1. We're going to have sports electric times 2. We're going to have SUV electric. That's just going to be 1. Then we've got a pickup electric. Add. And then we go to pickup mid-range, add. Then we want sports mid, add. We want off-road mid. Nope, I don't want sports mid, I want off-road mid. Okay. Compact mid, SUV mid, sedan mid. Then we want, we're going to go for, what have we got? We haven't got sedan in. Why is, okay, no, it's just because that's what's wrong. Get myself confused then. So we've got SUV, sedan, and then we're just going to go to the basics. So we're going to basic pickup. We'll have the basic off-road, add, and then we'll have the basic compact and basic SUV, add, and then basic. I know we had a medium. Right, okay, do you know what? We'll leave it at that. So that's basically the 2 importers. So that's what those guys are going to be making now. So that coincides with what the previous save game was producing. So that's my idea, is to try and stick with that for the time being. Because the way this is all now getting designed out, we should have a lot more room for expansion. And that's kind of the name of the game on this. So we've got this lot all working out, that's fine. So I'm just going to wait for these to actually fill up. So stockpile for the drive shafts, and I've set these to local only, haven't I? Yep. Local only, that's set to local only as well after I deleted it. Good. Right, next slot not found. Okay, what's going on here? What is going on here? We had a little bug. That's going that way, through. So nothing's coming out. What have I got going on? Have I got one of these going the wrong way? Tell you what, let's just make sure I remove these. Let's just pause it for a second. There we go, that's the offending article. I'd put a track in the wrong way. Let's see whether there's anything else out. No, that looks all okay. Right, okay. Let's put the correct one in again. So out and out and down. There we go. Everything's all hunky-dory. That's going through. That's not a problem because things have got to this point. So let's just pause that. So we want drive shafts. So back to chassis and make drive shafts. So again, I want to try and keep this as simple as possible. And can I get away with 2? Just thinking, if I've got 2 here, there's no room for expansion there. Although I can put one here. We also have no room for expansion here. I mean, okay, we do have this section here, but I don't really want to use that. So I'm thinking are we ever going to be needing that many? That would be a heck of a busy factory to have that doubled up. Heck of a busy. Which means we would need every single exit slot to be able to get cars out. Okay. But you know what? Leave it as it is. Maybe what I'll do is I'll give myself a bit more space. Let's remove that one. Let's put it a different way round. Thank you. Let's put it in that way. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more wiggle room, and I'll make sure I give myself a bit more space. So we're going to bring you straight down, and you're going here. So you've put one there, so let's just connect you like so. What? That was strange. Alright, so that should now work. Imports, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that should only bring in steel. Let's make sure it all works properly before I move on to the next stage. Okay. Right, we've got those drive shafts coming through. That's perfect. Next lot not connected. Perfect. Right. Okay. So we've got that out of the way, and we've got the axle sections completed. Next, we want fit undercarriage. Now, this is going to be coming in from outside, so realistically, I could do with just having that on its own route for the undercarriage. Now, same situation again here, but I think I need to give myself a bit more space. So let's take that down to, I think. So I've got 2 spaces, because what I can do is I can rip that out and put another level here and have these stacked, as it were. So that would mean the road would be there. And you know what, that's what I'll do, leave it in that position, so we'd only ever have it stacked twice, which is fine. So that'll be going to here, and then you're going to come all the way down to there, and we're going to have our route this way. So fit undercarriage, so we're going to have you slightly protruding, because that's kind of what I was thinking. You could have Yeah, actually I prefer that, because we're then giving ourselves a bit more space, and this is just... Okay, I've respaced everything out so that we can get a double layer of sections to the actual system. So as it stands now, then we've got I've reprogrammed everything in there, so that was a bit of a pain, but hey ho, we've done that. So as in the production schedule is now reprogrammed back in there. So we need to carry on. So let's just pause that. Everything is back up and running. We are down to the next level. So we've done fit axles, we've done the rear, we've done the drive shaft. We're making the drive shafts here. I've not moved those at all yet. I think there's enough space here for potentially another couple, which should be okay. We're going to fit undercarriage. We're going to use the same principle of oops, helps if I put it in the right place. Fit undercarriage. We are using the first come first serve principle here, so that's going to have a requirement to come from here. Do I go to there and there? That's done that. I don't like that. Can I get rid of that one? And you can go. Let's put you back in again. Let's chuck another one in. There we go. That looks a bit better on there at least. So if the graphics isn't perfect, that's something else can sort out another time. Right, so we're going straight up to the next level. So we've done that. That can hide. We now need to make and fit the fuel tank. So again, we're doing this slightly on like so. So we're going to fit these. We're going to do this fuel tank local only. Local only. That's the point. Upgrades. Large battery. We're going to need all this lot. So buy all. And do you know what? I'm going to. Do you know? Yeah. So now I'm going to need to have local only as well. That's interesting. Okay, so I just need to have a quick look at these fit fuel tanks, and while I do that, I'm also going to lay out the rest of this section, so you're not sat here watching it all, me going through it one at a time as I'm working it out. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we've got the line running. I fitted in the drive shafts last time. I've now put in the undercarriage down here. We followed the same sort of principle for the fuel tanks, but we've actually put a couple of fuel tank manufacturers in. What I thought last time was that potentially you couldn't actually have let me close that off there. You couldn't actually have more than one fuel tank on a bay, so I put 4 in on the basis that I was going to have 2 battery and 2 normal, but then it then sorted itself out and started giving me the options to have multiple fuel tanks, etc. So it's a case of, we look at these, so we've only got 2 here, but we actually have small ones over here. It's interesting. No, we don't. Okay, so yeah, we're just waiting to see what's going on this. For some reason, that one is not receiving any stock at all. Nothing's coming through, and it's just not getting anything. Let me delete that one out because that's really strange. Let's put another one back in. So we're putting in fit fuel tank. There we go. Let's upgrade again. Okay, and we're going to have, see, it's got small battery pack and large battery pack now. It doesn't give us the option for the standard. Okay, Alright, that's a bit frustrating. I'll come back in a minute and say, what about your fuel tank? Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Oops, was that then? Yeah, there it is. So now we can have it. So that's strange. Very strange indeed. But hey ho. That was a little bug that, well, I say it was a bug. It may not be. It just might just be what I am expecting out of the game. Right, so let's carry on running. So we've got our fuel tanks going in. We now have our fit body shell. Now I haven't actually put in any additional manufacturing because we had all our body shells being made previously. So what I thought we'd do to start with is get things set up so we can actually start pushing the cars down the line. At the moment we've got a bit of a backlog. Why are you, oh, there we go. So you can't see it. Every single location here is full. So the idea is to try and work out a way to get all this running more freer. So if we zoom out, you can see the yellow, how long they're waiting, sort of thing. So we want to get that sorted, and that's the whole idea. So we've got we haven't installed any additional robots because we're going to watch and see how it goes through. So we've got 4 fit body shells. We have got 4 fit hoods. In this little configuration, we've got space to put another couple here. We've got our fit trunk, we've got our fit bumpers, and then we go to, hang on, let's swap that fit radiator. Hang on. What have I done wrong? Fit bumper. Have I missed something off? So after fit bottom trim, that's there. Then it's followed by fit arches. I think I've put it separated the arches, which is fine. That's strange. I mean, fit radiators here. So why is it saying up there? Because radiators... where are you? No, go back, go back. Exhaust, there we go. There's fit radiators. Got 3 of them. Right. I'm going to ignore that one. Might just be a little fix that needs to be sorted out. So, right, so it goes on to the fit front arches. Now we've left all this space here, and that's with the idea of being able to have cars going back out through every single exit possible, and the same up here to utilize that one. So we've got space all the way around. So what else have we done? So we've ripped out a few more of these cars here, cars through the paint, well, the actual undercoat drying and the top coat drying, primarily just so that I can actually get this 2-way traffic here, because we're going to have a 3rd way coming out here at another point. So this is just really running at the moment just to see how it's working and what we need to do differently. It will be the next phase of the ripping out. So we've opened up this section and we go into fit the rear arches, then we go on to fit vents, and we've got the fit roofs, and we've got a nice big space here for expansion for more fit roofs, because I need to keep this space available for cars to go the other direction. The same with this, cars need to come be able to come back this way. So that's basically my expansion for fit roofs a bit later on. So then we go the other direction. So our cars are now having the fit door panels, so they're going to go down here. Then we're going to have fit the windows, and then we're also going to do the wing mirrors, and then we send them back out because they are then ready to be painted, and then now go back all the way over here to come back into this route. So they're going into these as a few undercoat painters. So that's what we've done for the short term. It gives us a lot of space up here and down here to actually start manufacturing the parts that we want within the close proximity to the actual line without affecting the potential routes leaving it. So I think we've done quite a lot for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see anything in more detail, just give me leave a comment below and I'll make sure I include that in next time. But until next time, that's Murphy out.